for no more than they've been able to do. They've gotten Jonathan Taylor going, but they're going to have to get more from what they've had from Gardner Minshew there in that first half.
As you look at the numbers for the quarterbacks, you see what C.J. Stroud, who we're about to see, has been able to put together. 3 incompletions, 2 touchdowns, 151 yards. And really no traction for the offense and Gardner Minshew at the controls so far with a half to go. And again, the winner of this game is into the postseason. The loser is finished for the 2023-24 season. Big first half for Nico Collins. 5 catches, 129 receiving yards and a touchdown. There he is. Why not? First play in the first half went for 75 and a touchdown. This one for 22.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they come right out to start this second half and play action, and they've got one-on-one on the outside, and you're going to see. I mean, the amount of time that C.J. Stroud has back there in the pocket, Nico Collins, and that's what's a little bit perplexing to me is the night that he has had, and granted, 75 yards of that was on the opening play, but he's the one threat that they have offensively because of the fact they're shorthanded with these other injuries, and yet, you know, he's been having a career night.
Setting up a screen for Singletary, who stumbled and ends up with a short gain of 1. You saw Juju Brents on the sideline, the rookie corner who grew up in Indy. He was in coverage on that completion to Collins to start this second half, and they're checking his leg over on the sideline as the Colts start 2 rookies, big guys, 6'2" and 6'3" in Jalen Jones and Juju Brents.
Boy, they've been through a lot of corners. You know, they've had their issues in the secondary, and they're certainly young with the 2 rookies, like you said, and they get a lot thinner if he's not able to go.
And another false start.
Offensive number 81. 5-yard penalty. Still second out.
It's against Saubert. Take a look at where Nico Collins sits with his 1,000-yard season. Brandon Cook's on the list for the Texans, who came into the league in 2002. DeAndre Hopkins, Andre Johnson, the most times, 7 times. He was a 1,000-yard plus receiver for Houston.
No, and like we talked about, this has been his breakout year, and I think we're going to see these types of seasons in the future from him.
Big pressure, and down goes Stroud. Buckner was there. And the former All-Pro makes a big play when the Colts needed most.
Boy, he sure did. And true to form with Gus Bradley as a defensive coordinator, it's a 4-man rush. Here he is right here inside, but it's this edge pressure coming here that has to allow Stroud then to step up in the pocket, and Big DeForest Buckner is there to make the sack.
His 8th of the year. And it's 3rd and 21. Collins, not much.
Well, this Colts team hasn't really given this crowd much to get behind them over, but they did a nice job, especially to come out to start this second half after the completion to Nico Collins to begin this possession and then force a punt. So they do their job, and now we'll see what Indianapolis is able to do after coming out at halftime.
The punt from Johnston with Josh Downs waiting. Good snap from Weeks. End over end. No fair catch, and Downs, who returned punts in college, is able to get a little breathing room for the 6-yard return. DeForest yards downfield. That's got to get better.
No doubt. And you've got to get big plays if you're going to score, and it all ties in together. But, yeah, Cameron Johnston, I mean, he's been a real weapon for this Houston team.
Taylor's been one for the Colts. A gain of 11.
Well, another big hole up inside. Take a look at what he's been able to do tonight. This offensive line has really done a good job, and they've given some different looks. But you see that Jonathan Taylor has had room to run. And usually when you're able to run the football the way that they have in this game, you start then getting the matchups on the outside that you like, and you get some big plays, at least some attempts down the field. But that has not been the case. But you're right, Joe. Gardner Minshew is going to have to deliver in the passing game for them to have a chance.
The hand again to Taylor, who's over 6.5 yards a carry. This is a Houston defense that's been red hot. You talked about the season numbers for the Texans. Last 3 games, they're allowing just over 2 yards per carry. 2.1 yards, lowest by any team over a 3-game span over the last 4 years. But tonight, 6.5 yards a carry.
Yeah, and they had the same kind of success back week 2. And I know both of these teams are different, but you know, we came into this game talking about this offensive line and how much improved they are from where they were this time last year.
Well, wide open Granson. And finally a big play from Minshew.
You know, and that's going to look like it's not such a good throw, but, you know, Minshew, he feels the color out in front of him. He couldn't lead Granson. You see the corner coming off of that and working back into the field. Actually, one of the few places that Minshew could put that ball.
23-yard completion. Here goes Taylor. With Pierce in front. Touchdown, Colts.
A lot of times you'll see a coach wait until they go for 2, till maybe you get into the 4th quarter. But here on this score, no hesitation by Shane Steichen. They're going for 2.
49-yard touchdown run. That's his longest run period of the season. He looks to be back here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. And he looked like he was back last week. And if you're not getting the big plays in the passing game, it's okay to get them in the run game. And we just got it, and that's why they're scoring. But you got to get the big chunks if you're going to score points in this league.
Colts 3 for 4 in converting on 2-point tries. Pop pass, tie game. Mo Alley Cox. The 23-yarder to Kylen Granson set up this 49-yard touchdown by Jonathan Taylor. Steichen said go for 2. They fake the handoff.
And you've got Blake Cashman, who's had a great year. He's going to be in the hole, unblocked, one-on-one on Jonathan Taylor, and just not able to make the play. And what really should have been a 4-yard gain turns into a long touchdown. But that's the big play that the Indianapolis Colts needed. They needed a spark offensively, something big to get them going. And they did it. And then the 2-point play. I mean, I saw Tim Tebow make a living in college on that one.
So now we'll see if Stroud can answer. Big play, Jonathan Taylor. And I'm just going to throw this out there. There are a million different possibilities all over games tomorrow. But for the Steelers, who won earlier today, they took care of their part. They're in the playoffs with either a Jacksonville loss, a Buffalo loss, or a tie in our game here tonight. There have been no ties in the NFL this season, but the Steelers have that as they make their way back from Baltimore.
They've got that right now to hang on to.
Here's a handoff to Singletary, and with the crowd roaring, Singletary gets 2. Why not? Look at it all. You see where the wild card teams stack up. The Steelers have already completed their regular season with that win, so that's just where they sit at the moment. And again, to go back to where we are here, the winner of this game is in the playoffs, losers out, and the winner wins the division and hosts a playoff game if Jacksonville loses at Tennessee. This one to the sideline, incomplete from Mechie. 3rd and 8.
Little tighter coverage on the outside by the other rookie, Jalen Jones. Does a good job. But yeah, this crowd now has gotten behind it, making things a little bit more challenging. You can see Jalen Jones, number 40. You know, that's and you got to be real careful when you're throwing those out routes. You leave that ball behind and it's picked off. Well, he does a good job missing. If you're going to miss wide.
Darrell Baker Jr. is taking over for the injured Juju Brents. It's 3rd and 8. Pressure. Stroud unloads. Incomplete. Ebukam with pressure. Forced that early throw, and it's 3 and out.
Well, you see this defense, and they play a lot of zone coverage. And here on 3rd and long, Gus Bradley, they play man. They've got a shot on the deeper flag route, but Stroud under a little bit of pressure, just not quite able to lay it to give him an opportunity to go get it.
What an ad Samson Ebukam has been. He had the pressure. He spent his last 2 years with D'Amico Ryans, the Texans head coach, as his coordinator with the 49ers. Good punt. Downs back inside the 15. Whoa. He got hit hard at the 20 by Neville Hewitt. 62-yard punt and a 9-yard return, and Hewitt put an exclamation point on that tackle. We're in a tie game. Colts have the ball right back. Last time the Colts had it, 23 yards to Kylan Granson, and then a 49-yard touchdown run by Jonathan Taylor in a drive that took under 2 minutes. 4 plays, 87 yards. Little pop pass for the 2-point conversion. We're tied, and the Colts just got it right back.
Well, the great running backs, and Jonathan Taylor certainly is a great running back, they all have the ability to make the first guy miss in the hole. And that was the difference in that scoring drive and that touchdown run by Jonathan Taylor. Blake Cashman, as I said, he's been phenomenal this year, but he was left unblocked, and Jonathan Taylor made him miss.
Here's Zach Moss saying, I can do it too. Nice carry on 1st down, gets 6. Look at the last 6 drives for the Colts. Over the first 4 of those 6, nothing. The last 2, they've been able to move the ball.
Well, I got it wrong to start this game. I said that Shane Steichen believes in throwing the football to score, running the football late in games to win. Well, tonight, they've had to run the ball to score, and they're going to have to run the ball, it looks like, if they get a lead to close it out. But it's been all Jonathan Taylor tonight.
Here's Moss again, 2 carries and a 1st down plus.
And, Joe, we saw this a few weeks ago against Pittsburgh, that Shane Steichen, he's old school. And once they get that running game going, he's not going to back off of it. He's going to make Houston, and that being the strength of this defense is their run defense this year. But he's going to keep pounding the ball until Houston shows that they can stop it.
Moss out, Jonathan Taylor in. Good block by the 6-time Pro Bowl left guard Quentin Nelson on that carry by Moss. Just stay with it. You called it. There he goes. Still going down near the 41.
You know, Shane Steichen kind of cut his teeth working for Norv Turner with the then San Diego Chargers. And this is what we did with Emmitt Smith over and over and over. And the offensive line, they start getting that momentum, and you can feel it. You feel it as a play caller. You feel it if you're in the huddle. And these guys are salivating, just wanting to carry the ball more and get these backs going. And now we've got an injured player on the field for Houston.
That's Jerry Hughes, who's taking
them that they had going.
They go back to it. Taylor, and he stood up, got maybe a yard. You mentioned Norv Turner, and we go back to the then San Diego Chargers in 2011. Norv Turner, the head coach, and there's Shane Steichen way up in the top left corner.
Yeah, he was an administrative assistant, which meant he wasn't coaching a position. And yet he was a young guy who had aspirations to be a coach, and that was kind of the philosophy back then with the Chargers, that they would groom some of these administrative assistants to eventually take over a position. And Shane Steichen obviously went on to do a lot of great things with the Chargers, and then of course with the Eagles, and now as the head coach.
Yep, previous 2 years with Philadelphia. 2nd down and 9, a carry by Taylor, no gain. Here's the timeline for Shane Steichen. We showed you the start of it, his time with the Chargers, which even included time with Herbert, the 2 years with the Eagles, helped get them to the Super Bowl last year, and was hired in the middle of February here with the Colts. And for all that we've said about D'Amico Ryans, the 38-year-old Shane Steichen has done a great job, losing his 1st-round pick Anthony Richardson in the 5th game of the year,
who I thought was playing well for a young rookie as well at the time that he went down. And he's done a good job managing Gardner Minshew also.
3rd down and 9. Minshew, good protection, and the ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage by Malik Collins to bring up 4th down. And that injury and the timeout by Jerry Hughes stopped all the momentum the Colts had.
It really did, and you could feel it. And Malik Collins, he stops this drive because it looked like Alec Pierce on the outside is where he was going with the ball, and he's working back to him. And that was going to be an easy completion, but Malik Collins recognizes he can't get there. He's able to bat the ball down. But yeah, lost a lot of momentum that they had gained with that injury.
57-yard try by Matt Gay. 1 short of his career long. He hits the upright, no good. And that means good starting field position for C.J. Stroud. Blue didn't like it.
No,
and the Houston Texans
check on Blue
at their own 47. Had the distance, but hit the upright.
Blue hadn't moved yet.
No, and we're still tied. That one 13 yards.
He's shown a lot of poise like we've seen from him all year long. In a big game, he's handled it all well.
Singletary on 1st down. Gets 4, will send it down to Lisa Salters.
Yeah, Joe, Colts rookie corner Juju Brents had been back in the locker room. He is now back on the field on the sidelines. He has been ruled out with a hamstring injury.
So he watches with the rest of us. Grew up a Colts fan, was 6 when Indy and Peyton Manning won it all. Super Bowl 41. Went to high school 13 miles east of here at Warren Central. 2nd down and 6. Play action from Stroud. Might as well run. 3rd down coming up.
I mentioned it earlier in the game. It's really, you know, that's not what he really wants to do. When he gets outside the pocket, he is looking to get the ball down the field, but he's made good decisions. And even before that play, because of the missed field goal, after just 2 snaps, they were already in field goal range. So now well within range, and an opportunity to take the lead regardless of what might happen here.
3rd and 2. Over the middle, incomplete. Triple coverage on Hutchinson. Baker was there, the corner. E.J. Speed, the linebacker, and Speed is slow.
Well, there were 3 defenders that were there around Hutchinson. Not the best decision in the world, but yet it looked like he put it right where he had to. He throws this right off his back foot. Really shows his arm strength that he has in order to be able to drive this ball the way that he did. And the accuracy that he has at the end of this play. It looked like Hutchinson had a chance. Let's take a look. There's a grab as he's coming out of that route. Sure enough, that ball was money, but that was a dangerous attempt.
E.J. Speed is able to get up and walk to the sideline. He's got 9 tackles in this game. Stroud put that where he needed to, but Xavier Hutchinson could not hang on, and this is going to be about a 51, 52-yard try by Fairbairn for the Texans to regain the lead. Kahimi's had a great year. His career long is 61, which he did 2 years ago, so they're well within that.
Yeah, he's only missed one field goal all year, and it was in this range beyond 50 yards.
It was against Indy week 2. This will be a 51-yard try. Absolutely perfect. From John Weeks, the long snapper, to the holder, Cameron Johnston. And Fairbairn is now 27 of 28 on the year.
Yeah, well, Fairbairn, he makes his, and Matt Gay missed his. Otherwise, it would still be knotted up, but that's the difference in the ball game right now.
We talked about this number 3 overall pick from Alabama, Will Anderson Jr., and we'll look at his night. He's dealing with a high right ankle sprain. You wouldn't know it with the way he came off the ball right there, and he's been working on the ankle and the leg strength on the bench and trying to get pressure on Minshew all night.
Yeah, what a rookie year he has had, and we talk about C.J. Stroud, and he garners most of the headlines when you talk about the Houston Texans and how he's played really beyond his years. Well, this young man has as well. Will Anderson has been exceptional, and you talked about it as far as the draft and the cornerstones that they've been able to bring in, that they're going to build this organization around. And you keep making draft picks like they made this year, they're going to be right there in the hunt each and every year.
A reminder to not miss the NFL playoffs on ESPN and ABC. We'll cap off Super Wildcard Weekend with the annual Monday night game on January 15th. Then we get to play on. The divisional round game will be Saturday, January 20th or Sunday the 21st. Both games will be on ESPN, ABC, and ESPN Plus. From the 25, trailing by 3. They hand it Taylor. Taylor gets a yard.
Well, I know what Jonathan Taylor has done here tonight, and his night is certainly far from over. He's got 20 carries already in this ball game. The most he's had this year is 23 touches back week 10 versus New England. But it just feels like if they're going to do what they want to do offensively, that Michael Pittman's going to have a bigger role than what he's had up to this point.
Minshew finds Mo Alley Cox, and he gets a first down. The eyes of Gardner Minshew. He was looking downfield deep, and he came off to number 81 and gets a first down.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier in the ball game as far as taking a shot to Alec Pierce. This is where they called this trying to get the ball to him. He's really good getting down the field, and I would give him that chance against Kareem Jackson. One-on-one on a safety. You know, Alec Pierce, he makes a lot of those plays, but Minshew didn't like it. He comes back to Mo Alley Cox, and he picks up the first down, so nothing wrong with that either.
Taylor gets nothing, and he's thrown to the ground by Khalil Davis. With over 2 to go in quarter number 3, a loss of 4 on that play by 94.
Boy, Khalil Davis, he does an excellent job. It's Ryan Kelly, the center, that he beats right in the gap. In the last 4 runs for Jonathan Taylor, it really ever since the injury there to Jerry Hughes, they just not been able to get that running game back going again.
Second and 14. Minshew has to step up. He's got a receiver and a first down, and then a flag for the hit on Michael Pittman Jr. Desmond King went high with the hit, and the flags flew.
Personal foul. Defense number 25. Unnecessary roughness, 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, an excellent route by Michael Pittman. Zone coverage, and he's going to start like he's going to go inside. And then when he comes out of it, you see all the space that he's able to create, and there's the hit. And that was an easy call. Desmond King comes in, helmet to helmet, clearly. That's a big hit. It's good that Pittman was able to get up from that.
That's his first catch since the opening minutes of the game, and how Pittman hung on after that high hit. Impressive. Missed a game due to concussion and a high hit. Able to withstand that. Here he is again. Wide receiver screen, and the blocking never really got set up. A gain of 4, and Kareem Jackson, who's been suspended a couple of times this season for high hits, is out there to make the stop. 2nd and 6. That was when he was with Denver, by the way. They let him go. And D'Amico Ryans, who was his teammate with the Texans, that's how long Kareem's been playing, picked him up.
Yeah, he got that playing time last week, 19 snaps against Tennessee, and we knew we'd see him a little bit more here in this game tonight.
Here's a carry by Moss. Looks to be enough for a first down. And it is.
Well, we've seen Moss come in, and he's had some nice runs when he's gotten his opportunities between the two of them. And this is something they've just not had much of with those two backs, with Taylor and Moss in the lineup together.
Well, one of the officials, Troy, after that run walked in saying first down. The other one overruled.
Runner was short of the line of game. 3rd down.
And they moved the ball back.
65's eligible. 6'5".
And so this is going to be 3rd down and inches instead of a first down. And the crowd reacts as they see it on the big scoreboard here. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Indianapolis is challenging the ruling on the field. The runner was short of the line of game.
Shane has won 2 of his 3 challenges this season. As far as the 3 of us are concerned up here in the booth, this should be his 3rd win on a challenge this year. John Perry, I didn't mean to shortchange you the whole Indiana thing. I know Derek Mobley is from Indiana, but
yeah, but let's boil her up, baby. Just north of here, we'll give a shout out to Michigan City, great state of Indiana. I was really disappointed that you shut me out there earlier.
About that. Here, as we look at it, I guess the only question would be, was the knee down prior to Zach Moss being down? The answer is no. And so it looks like he comes down with enough for the first down.
You know, that looks like it'll be a first down. And since we're killing a little bit of time, I did hear from Brett Favre. You know, he went into coaching after he retired. He coached high school ball. And the team won the state championship his 2nd year. They went 12-1. And their only loss was to Gardner Minshew that season. And he was a high school quarterback and said he couldn't miss. So, hey, don't undersell Gardner Minshew. He's played in some big games.
Yeah, I mean, he's gritty. He knows how to get it done. And here's a call.
After reviewing the play, the runner made the first down. You have to go back and finish the 3rd quarter. Please reset the game clock to 45 seconds and the play clock at 40. Go time.
Well, a couple of things. We're going to replay the end of the 3rd quarter. But more importantly, Jonathan Taylor is going to go in and get looked at for whatever is going on. Welcome inside the booth. And what a game. I mean, this is winning in, and these two teams, Stroud and Minshew, Texans, Colts, they have not disappointed tonight.
No, they haven't. And it's been a pretty clean game overall as well. And you always wonder about that with quarterbacks that, you know, haven't played in games quite like this with the playoff berth on the line. But no, I said it coming into this game, Joe. It's just one of these games, the job that these head coaches have done with these teams coming in, and however this thing shakes out, the loser of this game, you just hate to see it happen because you want them both to win and move on. But that's not the way it works.
And we said it coming on that this may be a little earlier than these two teams anticipated being in the mix for the postseason. But that's just how good of a job their head coaches have done. Here is Moss. He's met in the backfield and lost a yard. And that will likely be how we end the third quarter, as Khalil Davis, who's made a couple of plays, was in on that with Tier Tart. They're lining up to run another one. They were trying to get a free 5, and the Texans do not jump across. So that is the official end of the third quarter. What's at stake? The winner clinches a playoff berth and has a shot at the divisional title. See that bottom line? As long as Jacksonville loses at Tennessee, the loser of this game eliminated from playoff contention. Game tomorrow night is big in the AFC East, with Miami hosting Buffalo. The winner of that game wins the division. Miami has clinched a playoff spot. Kansas City, the number 3 seed. Right now, Jacksonville and 4. Cleveland. What a year Kevin Stefanski and now Joe Flacco have had. 11-5. They play at Cincinnati. And we've talked about Pittsburgh. They did their part. They won their game earlier. But they need help, and we saw T.J. Watt leave that game with a knee injury, leading the NFL with his 19 sacks.
Yeah, you go back to, a lot of great stories. There always is in the NFL year after year. And, you mentioned Kevin Stefanski. You lose your quarterback and how you're able to overcome that. You bring in Joe Flacco, and for him to go on and do what he's been able to do and to put that team in the position that they're in, good for him.
Here is Moss. Can't get to the 20. And so third down coming up, and Christian Harris, who we said his name a lot early, is in there to make the tackle.
Yeah, Christian Harris, we have talked about him a lot. He's made a lot of plays in this game. He's tied for the team lead in tackles, and he had a tough year last year, and he has just gotten better this season, and he's playing really the best football over the last couple of weeks that he's played since he came to Houston.
Colts are 0 for 7 on third down tries. It's 3rd and 9. Over the middle, pass is caught, but short of first down yardage. Mo Alley Cox. And for an injury update before a field goal try, here's Lisa.
Yeah, Joe, we saw Jonathan Taylor walk back to the locker room with the training staff. They're calling it a heel injury. He is questionable. Also, Colts right tackle Braden Smith has now been ruled out with a knee injury.
Yeah, he's been battling that. This is his second game back, so they lose him. And this will be a 35-yard try for Matt Gay, coming off the miss from 57 as he tries to tie it. Which he does. 3 for 4 on the night. And it's 17-7 Doyle Stadium tonight for two young teams battling with records of 9 and 7. It's been a long process to get to this point. And one of these two teams is going to walk out of here stamping their ticket for the postseason. Right now we're tied. And the Texans about to get the ball back. Matt Gay kicks it away. Damian Pierce, who had a 98-yard return for a touchdown against Cleveland 2 weeks ago, will give it a shot. And a good return out across the 25 of 30 yards. Outside and look up. Aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear, a city that hosted Super Bowl 46. Game that was won by the Giants over the Patriots, a good one, 21-17, postseason for the 2011 year.
That was a great week when they hosted the Super Bowl here in Indianapolis. I will say that the city of Indianapolis, hats off to them, because they do know how to put on a big event. Whenever they do, they've had a lot of experience doing it, but they always do it right.
Stroud able to complete, and the catch made by the fullback Andrew Beck, who has a touchdown tonight for 8. First half went about as good as it could for C.J. Stroud. Second half, different story so far with 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, they just had 40 yards of offense in this second half. So all the struggles that we saw from Indianapolis in that first half really has kind of transferred over to Houston here in this second half.
Handoff and a first down carry by Singletary.
I do think this, when you watch this, and I go back to, you know, creating big plays and can you get them, because that's the key to being able to score. It's just hard to methodically drive the ball down the field. That really both these teams, that the way that they play on the outside, we've seen them try. You can double move these outside corners and take a shot. Now Gus Bradley, they play a lot of zone, they play a lot of single high safety. He has been mixing in a little bit more coverage to try to help out these corners, and of course now with Juju Brents out of the lineup.
Blitz coming off the edge, and down goes Stroud. Ronnie Harrison Jr., the safety, and Stroud saw him too late.
Well, he sees it late, and Ronnie Harrison times this up really well. He's taken over at the safety position, and with Stroud having his back to him, he feels it there, but he had no chance. So when he comes out, he didn't anticipate it prior to the snap of the ball, to where you at least check it before you come out from center. But Ronnie Harrison comes up with a big play.
What a time for his first sack of the year. Free agent addition for this season, playing a lot of weak side linebacker back at safety. Underneath it, Schultz broke one tackle on 2nd and 20 and makes this a 3rd and manageable.
Oh, it's the missed tackle. That's Baker, who came in for Juju Brents, and that's 10 more yards. That makes this that call sheet got a whole lot bigger with this miss tackle here by Darrell Baker.
Texans hurry it up, 3rd down and 3. Stroud, good catch. First down, Houston. It's Schultz.
Yeah, really nice catch by Dalton Schultz. It should have been a lot easier than what it was, but he's able to adjust to it. That's a good job. You talked about what he was able to do in Dallas. He was one of Dak Prescott's favorite receivers. Now that's Jake Ferguson, who's had a heck of a year. But I know that C.J. Stroud, when you're a young quarterback, those tight ends, those guys that work the middle of the field, they become security blankets.
Singletary bouncing. Flag on the play as Singletary breaks tackles. Jalen Jones was out there defending. Here's the call from Bill Vinovich.
Holding, offense number 47. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Against the fullback.
That's Andrew Beck. He's gotten a little action tonight. He got the touchdown when they left him wide open. You see him at the top, number 47. And as soon as Singletary starts to go outside, there's the grab. And that's typically what happens. You feel like you're losing the defender. It's because of what's happening behind you with the back, and the natural inclination is to grab.
10th penalty against the Texans tonight, ties for a season high. First and 20 as a result. There's Schultz. Got the first down catch, and now picks up 6 here on 1st and 20.
Well, you know, we saw Darrell Baker miss that tackle, but you know, he has played a fair amount this year, but still I think that I test him a little more than they have.
Stroud has to spin out of there, backpedaling, and he just throws it to Collins with a diving catch. Collins closed a ton of ground as it looked like Stroud was just throwing it away.
You can't even imagine how good this is. This throw is about a 40-yard throw by the time he's able to set up, and it's, again, not able to get anything behind it. He just threw it to a spot and saw Nico Collins out there gave him a chance, and Nico Collins went and got it. Oh, my gosh.
He's had 8 targets, 8 catches, 172 yards tonight. Wow. Flag now on the play as the handoff is to Singletary, a gain of 5.
They may get the Colts for 12 guys on the field. Steichen was talking to the official. They're going to huddle and sort through this. The Texans were against the play clock trying to get the ball snapped.
Two flags are down.
There's no foul on the play. The offense subbed. The defense has a right to match up. We're just going to play it over.
Well, now that means they're going to play it over, and that wipes away a 5-yard carry on first down by Singletary.
Yeah, again, we're with a substitution issue.
At the 40-yard line, first down.
But to play it over?
Well, mechanically, the umpire needed to stay over the ball with the substitution, which would allow the defender to get off the field. So, in other words, it's a mechanical error in the officiating department, which does create the do-over.
Yeah, and a good job by them with the do-over.
So first down and 10. Play action from Stroud. A screen for Schultz. And the tackle, a 9-yard pickup as Nick Cross made the stop. And Troy, think of what the Texans have done on this possession. They've overcome a 2nd and 20 after an early sack and a 1st and 20 after the hold by Beck. And here they are, 2nd and 1 in a tie game, 8.5 to go. It's impressive.
It really is. No, the Colts have gotten the Texans back against the wall with these long down situations, and yet they've been able to overcome them. You know, the biggest being the big time throw by C.J. Stroud. Nico Collins able to run it down.
2nd and 1. Here is Singletary. First down, Houston. So a strong possession and overcoming a sack and a penalty, and a first down after a carry of 3.
Yeah, and you get down here, obviously the Texans are in field goal range, and the Colts, you know, with 7.5 minutes to go and clock running, it's okay that they've overcome that. Now can you make a stop and at least force a field goal attempt, and not anymore?
Stay on the ground. Tackles made by E.J. Speed. He's been busy tonight, and a loss of 3 as he brings down Singletary.
Yeah, it's really a good play by E.J. Speed. He's unblocked, but still, you got to make the tackle in the open field. And this is where Devin Singletary really excels. He usually makes the guy miss. I mean, he's so good with his quickness and ability to make defenders miss in the hole. But yet, E.J. Speed makes a good, sure tackle.
His 12th tackle of the night, 2 for a loss, his 2nd. George Fant is taken back over at right tackle for the Texans. Pass is caught. Collins, 1st and goal. And a flag at the end of the play on the tackle. Tyquan Lewis with pressure. May have been a horse collar on the tackle at the end of it.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle. Defense number 48. Half it into the goal. Automatic first down.
That's Ronnie Harrison Jr., who had a sack earlier on this drive.
Well, C.J. Stroud, I mean, this drive is, I don't want to say a defining drive, but it's been awfully good. He's got pressure. He hangs in there. He's not able to step into throw again because Tyquan Lewis is right there. But he reads the coverage. He's got his eyes down the field. He puts the ball in a perfect spot. And there's the horse collar and a good call.
Moves the ball inside the 5, just outside the 3, 1st and goal. Carry by Singletary for the touchdown. What a drive engineered by the rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud. And a 3-yard touchdown run for Devin Singletary, his 4th touchdown of the season.
Well, and this is what Devin Singletary does. You're going to see that he's got this jump cut right there where he's avoiding the tight end, Eric Saubert, and he's able to then get into the crease. And you watch him, he did this at Buffalo all the time when you watched him play, and he's been doing it, you know, really the second half of the season for the Houston Texans as well. That was a great drive. Excellent work by C.J. Stroud.
However, the extra point is yanked wide left. And the first extra point, I were watching him on the sideline during the break, which was it was fun to watch because he was psyching himself up.
He was, yeah, he was nodding his head. He knows he's going to, it's going to ride on him. You know, Minshew's going to have to make some plays too. But this offensive line, and it's a big loss with Braden Smith out at right tackle as well.
Blake Freeland is taken over at right tackle. Here he is, and bottled up in the backfield is Taylor by Petrie. A loss of 1, and before they headed out to work, Jonathan Taylor was on the sideline trying to fire himself up with the bad heel, the bad ankle, and a loss of 1 to start this drive. Under 6 to go. Backpedaling, passes caught by Downs. First down plus, still going. The rookie Downs is into Houston territory with a big play.
Well, we've seen D'Amico Ryans, he's dialed up a few blitzes, and he brings Petrie again. He brings him here, but he's throwing the ball to this way, but it's man coverage, and so they get the ball to the guy who can make people miss, Josh Downs, and you don't make that tackle, and this is why the Texans have given up big plays. They've just not, they've blown coverages. They haven't been able to make tackles at times this season. This time, Desmond King, who's in man coverage on Downs, not able to get him to the ground in a big game.
Kareem Jackson missed a tackle on the play as well. Under 5 to go. Taylor back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Derek Barnett, former Philadelphia Eagle, was in there and not alone on that stop. Second down.
Well, as we know, the missed extra point is big, and I know what Shane Steichen wants to do. He wants to run Jonathan Taylor, and he wants to run the 4-minute offense and take it down the field and milk the clock and score with very little time left and make their extra point. But boy, Houston's not giving up much ground in the run game right now.
Here's Downs again. Third down coming up as Downs is to the 44, a gain of 4. Perryman made that tackle.
Well, now you've got a third down, and it's hard to believe, but the Colts have yet to convert a third down in this game. And I just don't know that I've ever heard of a team winning a football game if they didn't convert a third down.
The 2020 Giants, the last team to win a game, going 0 on third down. Third down and 6. And they hand it off. Taylor. And this is, well, there's a flag at the end of the play. And Taylor looked to be just short of first down yardage.
Yeah, and you've got the center, Ryan Kelly, who looked like he got banged up pretty good on the play.
He looked his hands. Hands in the face. Defense number 96. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down. 5-yard penalty for the end of the run. First down.
It's against Malik Collins. And a season-high 11th penalty in the game on Houston. And a no-doubter.
Yeah, no doubter. I like that. Is that the vernacular you officials use?
When we
Barry?
write those up, we say a no doubter prolonger.
First down at the 34. Back to Taylor. Didn't look like there was any room in there, and somehow he ends up getting 4.
No, I love the guy and what he's able to do, and I hate it for all running backs in our league that, you know, they've had to really kind of walk a hard line and trying to get paid. But Jonathan Taylor, if there is a guy, he's certainly the one that deserves it. But you know, the clock continues to run, and D'Amico Ryan's going to have to start thinking about when he wants to start trying to stop the clock and using some of his timeouts.
Each side with 3 left. Toss to Taylor. 3rd down coming up. A gain of just 1. And what does Steichen come up with on 3rd down and 5, a long 5? But we saw Will Anderson Jr. go to the sideline. He's playing through a high ankle sprain. He's given his team all he can give. And now Denzel Perryman is down, their middle linebacker, and he needs assistance before 3rd down and 5.
Well, that gives Shane Steichen a lot more time to think about this call.
There's Perryman 6 in the middle of it with that right arm extended. And he got the worst of it.
Well, and the other part of this too is that, you know, they've got 2 downs to pick this up. They stick with Jonathan Taylor, or
I mean, you think about all that goes into it, and you've been through it. Off-season training, training camp, season starts, injuries, trying to fill out a roster, trying to have a young team grow, and it comes down to 2 minutes and 41 seconds, and one of these 2 teams is going to the playoffs, and one of them is going to head home happy about the season but brokenhearted about tonight.
Yeah, and you know, you've said it, Joe. Neither of these teams could have imagined being in this position. It's a shame that someone is going to lose, but they both have had great years. But the winner, boy, there's going to be a surge that carries them into the offseason no matter what happens once they get into the postseason.
They do stick with Taylor. Lowers his shoulder and just wills his way near the 1st down, but he's short. Well, the official on the far side says he's about half a yard short. We're coming up on the 2-minute warning.
No, they gave it to him.
Oh, they switched it.
And what's interesting is when the Colts thought it was short, they were getting right back onto the line of scrimmage. Once they saw that it was a 1st down, they were huddling back up.
Well, we were outside the 2-minute warning on the play. If this is going to be challenged, it would have to come from the Texans sideline.
Colts 24 yards away from what could be a go-ahead score and a win-and-you're-in scenario. Joe, what else you want?
Yeah, this is as good as it gets. And John Perry, just to clean up, we had a discrepancy as to if it was a 1st down or not. It looked to you like they got the call right.
Yeah, I like the 1st down. Really nice job mechanically getting together to get it right.
So a 1st down for the Colts. As you'll see, Taylor just willed his way to the 1st down. And that was their first 3rd down conversion of the game. What a time for it. 1 for 10. Here's a toss. Taylor, little stutter step. Out of bounds, forced out by Harris.
Well, I know I understand they want to get the ball to Taylor and run the ball. I also know that the Texans know that, and they've got opportunities on the outside. And I do like Alec Pierce at his size and his ability to make the tough catch. And you know who you can work against because these corners don't flip-flop. You know, they generally line up where they play. And right now he's on Derek Stingley. You'd prefer for him, or excuse me, they got Pittman on Stingley right now.
Handoff to Taylor, left side. 3rd down coming up with 1:48 remaining, forced out by Cashman. This drive that started at the Indy 25 with 6:20 left.
Well, it's nice when you've got 2nd and long and you're able to get the ball and run it and pick up the game that they just did. Well, I don't see him getting away from that now.
Pittman only 2 catches after halftime. Alec Pierce no catches all night. And there he is at the bottom. They stay with the run, and 4th down comes up. 4th and 1.
We'll see what Shane Steichen what his confidence level is right now of sticking with Jonathan Taylor or putting the ball in Gardner Minshew's hand. Yeah, that's interesting because they were so quick to get up there that, you know, typically this is the game right here for Indianapolis. I mean, they've got to convert here, but you know, you'd think there would be a timeout to think about this play, but there wasn't. So, yeah, not surprised then that they were just trying to see if they could draw them off sides and pick it up without having to call play.
Gives us time to remind that the NFL playoffs kick off next Saturday with Super Wildcard Weekend presented by Verizon. 12 teams, 6 games, 3 days, one great weekend. The road to Super Bowl 58 starts here. Stay tuned after the Sunday games for the announcement of the full schedule. That's tomorrow late. We'll all know where everyone is headed. Tyler Goodson has checked in for the Colts. Taylor on the sideline on 4th and 1, and here it is. It's in Minshew's hand, and a drop by Goodson. Texans make the stop, and they take over, up by 6.
Not totally surprised by the call. The Colts throw the ball on 4th and 1, second most in the NFL. So they put the ball in Minshew's hand. A good call. They've got an opportunity here. If Minshew just lays that a little bit more, a ball that could have been caught. But Goodson, he's trying to adjust, not able to secure it. Could have been a better opportunity. Boy, this is one that both Minshew and Goodson are going to be thinking about all night long.
Texans take over. D'Amico Ryan's team makes the stop with an asterisk with that ball that hits the turf. They needed a yard, and Goodson and Minshew could not connect. 2 timeouts left for the Colts, and a handoff is to Singletary, a gain of 3. Time now for our game recap, which is brought to you by United Airlines, and it's that last drive by the Houston Texans. There's a sack here by Harrison. There were a couple times the Texans were backed up, and C.J. Stroud with this incredible throw to Nico Collins, a big piece of getting it into the end zone.
And then that throw right there, you know, might have been his best throw of the night. But just an excellent job, a great drive. The ball to Nico Collins that he lays out, you know, like I said, to even have the arm strength to get that in the vicinity of Nico Collins, and you see Gardner Minshew. Yeah, that's a tough one.
2nd down and 7. Handoff to Singletary, and the Colts will use their last timeout. Assess what we saw on 4th and 1. This throw a little behind Goodson.
Yeah, a little behind him. Goodson comes into the game with 6 receptions on the year, and so, you know, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities in these situations, of course, and just one that, you know, it can be caught, but you can also deliver a better ball as well. I think both of those players will take ownership on not being able to make the play.
They called that timeout, remember, before the 4th and 1 after trying to draw the Texans offside. So they're out of timeouts. It's 3rd down and 6 and a 6-point game. And the Colts cannot stop the clock again. Singletary right side. It's 4th down. There'll be a little time left on the clock with less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, you just look at this season and think back to a year ago. The Texans were in line for the #1 overall pick, and they have the second pick. They take C.J. Stroud, and you've heard me say, Joe, that when you draft a rookie quarterback, you just hope that you come out of that first year that you know that he's your franchise quarterback and you feel good about him. And that's not always the case. But I think the Texans knew pretty early on that they hit it on this guy right here. And in his biggest game of his short NFL career, he did everything that he had to do. He was 20 of 26, 260 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the biggest thing is he didn't turn the ball over. And as Jimmy Johnson has always said, when you're in a big game, it's not who makes the most big plays, although he made plenty. It's who makes the fewest bad plays. And C.J. Stroud did not have a bad play tonight.
See him with Bobby Slowick, the offensive coordinator, first year as an OC in the NFL. There's so many good things going on both sidelines. Shane Steichen, this one will sting. Gardner Minshew had his team down the field, riding Jonathan Taylor. They took him out of the lineup on 4th down and 1. Brought Goodson in and couldn't connect. The winner of this game is in the playoffs and has a shot with a Jacksonville loss at Tennessee tomorrow. They play at 1 o'clock Eastern. They would be the South champion in the AFC if Jacksonville loses that game. The loser of this game is out.
Well, the Colts are selling out. There's nobody back to receive this punt. They're coming after it.
They put a second back on the clock. 8 seconds left. Cameron Johnston is going to run out of the back of the end zone, take the safety, make it a 4-point game. Speed is there to force him out.
He probably could have kept it at least a second, run a little zigzag or something. I don't know.
But now there's 1 second left, and we'll have the free kick.
Well, you can't say enough about the job that DeMeco Ryans has done, and really Shane Steichen as well. You just hate it for whoever is going to lose this game, and unless some sort of miracle, it's going to be the Indianapolis Colts. But great job by both these head coaches, both organizations. The owners got it right on who they hired, and just a really good season for everyone.
Texans with a win tonight, and there's 1 second left. Go on top. But the Jaguars would have the tiebreaker to win the division with a win tomorrow to also get to 10-7. And that number 5 seeded Cleveland Brown team is sitting there waiting for the winner of the South, and they are not going to be an easy team for whoever gets them in the wild card game a week from now.
Well, the only chance really, I mean, they could field this and run around, or they could fair catch this if they get that opportunity. And then no time comes off the clock, and then they either way, it's going to be a helter-skelter ending to this ball game.
Cameron Johnston has the ball in his hands. This free kick with 1 second left in what is now a 4-point game. All right, set and ready to go. Downs will bring it. Throws backward to Pittman. He fumbles it backward. Texans are there, and the Texans are in the playoffs. An emotional C.J. Stroud gets his young team into the postseason with a record of 10-7 and a win on the road here in Indianapolis in Week 18.
Well, he was everything that he's been all season long. He has shown tremendous poise throughout the year, and his command of the pocket and getting the ball to the right people, even shorthanded. Probably didn't stress that enough throughout this ball game without Tank Dell, without Robert Woods, without Noah Brown, and yet he delivered for this football team. And I think D'Amico Ryan said it to our Lisa Salters at halftime as good as you could, that he's the reason that they got to this point. He was the reason that they were able to win